All right, Black Goose TV family. So I got some Jaime Munguia news, an update on his next opponent. Obviously, there's been a whole lot of speculation when it comes to Jaime Munguia, you know what I'm saying? And it's not his fault. It's really not his fault. Obviously, his promoters, Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy Promotions, they're trying to, they're trying to get him a fight that makes people notice when it comes in the middleweight division. Maybe not the middleweight division noticing, but more so us boxing fans, casual fans, hardcore fans saying, "Hey, Jaime Munguia, he can be a problem at middleweight, super middleweight, wherever he decides to place himself in the future or whatever challenges he decides to take on. He can be a dominant force at 160. He can be a dominant force at 168." But a lot of people are not saying that because they just don't have a lot of eyes on it. So obviously, recently I reported on it. Check out the videos. Munguia versus Jermall Charlo. They were in talks. It was supposed to happen. They almost had everything confirmed, signed, sealed, and delivered, but it fell through because they couldn't agree on where they wanted to broadcast the particular fight. PBC wanted all the broadcasting rights, say everything should be on PBC. Oscar De La Hoya said, no, that's not fair. I have to include the zone when it comes to this. He's actually stood firm as recently as like last week, I want to believe, and maybe a couple of days ago. He was pretty adamant on saying, hey, the only way I'm going to be dealing with PBC, if we're talking about the Munguia fight, I'm saying the zone has to be involved. And it's almost him flexing a little bit more because remember, you guys, he had a mandatory in place that Munguia was supposed to fight before the Charlo negotiations started. And then that fell through in the sense of it seemed like they were leaning toward the Charlo fight, which is, hence why the negotiation started. After now hearing that, Charlo is now going to move on and fight Selecki, obviously because PBC wasn't happy about the fact that Oscar De La Hoya with his own involved in the broadcasting rights. That left Munguia in a place where he didn't have anyone to fight. And there was some speculation on who he was going to fight. And obviously some of the opponents that they were putting out there were names no one was going to be necessarily interested in, not because they're not good fighters, but because there's nothing behind them. And obviously, if he was looking to fight Jermall, he's looking to kind of put his name out there a little bit more, make people pay attention. And so, I in my opinion, probably most likely, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy was like, let's try and find that guy. Now, this is a major FU, in my opinion, from Oscar De La Hoya toward PBC if they do end up moving forward and having a Daniel Jacobs versus Munguia fight, especially with it being at catch weight, because obviously Munguia is in great shape. Munguia is ready to go. But I'm not saying Jacobs is in great shape, but obviously we know Jacobs moved up to super middleweight. So if they're talking about doing a catchweight fight with Danny Jacobs, this is a FU to Oscar saying, hey, I told you what I'm trying to do in Munguia. I believe in this guy. I believe he would have beat Jermall, and we could have put his name out there with the greats when it comes to, not the greats, but have him in a position where he can fight some of these greats at super middleweight, at middleweight. But there's also, obviously a lot of criticism from Munguia because they also feel like he ducked Demetrius Andrade to an extent, which I don't believe in that. But I'm just telling you guys, all sides of the spectrum or the sphere, whatever the fuck you want to call it, how people are looking at it in the boxing community. But if this is real, if this is going to happen, Munguia versus Daniel Jacobs, it is a big FU from Oscar De La Hoya at PBC because he's basically saying, hey, look, I told you I needed the zone in this. Y'all didn't want the zone in this. You don't think I can go back to the zone and say, hey, I need a big name for Munguia? You don't think I could find one? And here it is. He found one, Daniel Jacobs. So if this happens and this fight is made, it kind of just coincides with my last video. Goddamn, are we in for a treat for this summer? Munguia versus Daniel Jacobs is a fire-ass fight. I'm going to see it. I'll be all in. I'll be tuned in. I'll have the popcorn. I'll have everything turned off. I'll be like, nigga, let's get this thing popping. This is a great fight right here, especially if we get a ready, prepared Daniel Jacobs. The Daniel Jacobs of old, obviously, they showed a picture with John Ryder. We know Daniel Jacobs has his ups and downs his entirety of his career. Not saying that his record reflects it. He has a great record, but he's shown to, when he fights a certain level of opposition, we'd be like, that's not the Daniel Jacobs I'm used to. Like, where is this coming from? So but I think against Munguia, he's going to bring it. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I would love to see this. So let me know, Black Goose family. What do you think about this news? A possible Munguia versus Daniel Jacobs fight? Would you guys be interested in this? Is this more exciting to you than a Charlo fight? And honestly, if this ends up being made, would not Munguia be making a bigger statement than Charlo? Charlo decided to fight Selecki. Munguia ended up moving forward towards Daniel Jacobs. So that shows me Munguia wants to, he ain't no way he ducked that Charlo fight, right? But Oscar De La Hoya has made that known. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.